on two platforms here. I've got YouTube over here, and I've got Facebook Live over there. About to start my my jazz standards program, Swinging Like Sinatra. Right at 2 right now. Not sure how many people we've got so far. Looks like 3 on YouTube. Not sure on Facebook yet. But I'll go ahead and start talking a little bit about pieces that I've got. So the first set that I'm going to do is a set of pieces from famous films. And they're not necessarily Sinatra songs, but they are associated with a lot of jazz singers, including Sinatra. I see somebody. Oh, Barbara. Oh, wonderful. Thank you for joining. Yeah, and I apologize since I've got Facebook Live over here and YouTube over here. I may not be able to see all the comments and to respond to everything as it's happening, but I'll go back and be sure to respond to the different comments. I can actually see the YouTube a little better because it's on my computer, and over here on Facebook it's a little tiny screen. But anyway, so this first set is from famous films. The first one that I'm going to do is It Had to Be You, and I associate that, it's probably in a lot of different films, but I associate it with When Harry Met Sally. And then we've got Stormy Weather. That was turned into the film Stormy Weather. That was about 10 years after it was first written. That has an interesting story, so I'll go into that a little later. They Can't Take That Away From Me is from Shall We Dance? And then the final song in that first set is Angel Eyes. Is from a more obscure film called Jennifer from 1943. But I'll talk about these a little more as I go along. This first one, as I mentioned, is It Had to Be You. This is a song by Gus Kahn and Isham Jones. Sorry if I pronounced that incorrectly. So this is It Had to Be You. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gives me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. It had to be you. It had to be you. I wandered around and finally found that somebody who could make me be true, could make me be blue, and even be glad just to be sad, thinking of you. Some others I've seen might never be me, might never be cross or try to be boss, but they wouldn't do. For nobody else gives me a thrill. With all your faults, I love you still. It had to be you, wonderful you. It had to be you. All right.
I don't think you're actually streaming on Facebook right now.
Oh, maybe I'm not streaming on Facebook. Okay.
My mom said she couldn't find it.
Oh.
And I couldn't find it either.
Okay. Well, it says I'm live. I don't know if that's different than streaming. Try another way of going live during your broadcast. Okay, that might be the reason why. Live video. Live video broadcast a moment as it happens. That's what's checked.
Do you know? Is it on your like friend page? It's not like showing up.
No, maybe it's one of those things where it'll do it after I do it.
Yeah, I sent her the YouTube link.
So yeah, I guess maybe it'll be on Facebook later. I'm not used to doing it on the phone, so I guess if you want to join on YouTube, and Caitlin will help, I guess, direct people. I'm sorry about that. So she'll direct people to YouTube, and I guess it'll be on Facebook after I've already done it. I don't know why it's doing that, but this next piece is called Stormy Weather. Don't know why there's no Santa blue sky, stormy weather since my gal and I together. Keeps raining all the time. Life is bad, blooming misery everywhere, stormy weather. Just can't get my poor self together. I'm weary all the time, so weary all the time. When she went away, the blues, they walked in and met me. If she stays away, oh, rocking chair is gonna get me. All I do is pray the Lord above will let me walk in the sun once more. Can't go on, everything I have is gone. Stormy weather suits my gal and I together. Oh, keeps raining all the time. Life is bad, gloom and misery everywhere, stormy weather. Just can't get my poor self together. I'm weary all the time. So weary all the time. All right, that was Stormy Weather. We had a solo from Clementine in here. She's currently eating something she's probably not supposed to on the counter and making a lot of noise. I don't know if you could hear it, but I could. So this next piece from another famous film is They Can't Take That Away From Me, from Shall We Dance. The last piece, I meant to go into the film that it was from. Stormy Weather was from a film called Stormy Weather from 1943. And it's a really cool thing because it was an all African-American film, and it starred a lot of the very famous black jazz artists of the day, Lena Horne, Cab Calloway, Fats Waller, and it was a really high-quality film. And so it's really amazing that it got made, and I'm so glad that it did, because it showcases a lot of really wonderful live performances that, you know, back then it was kind of before it was before television, and so, you know, a lot of these live performances, if they weren't captured for a feature film, they were just kind of lost. So it's really cool that was captured. But this is They Can't Take That Away From Me from Shall We Dance. Oops, forgot the flats. The way you wear your hat, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that, no, they can't take that away from me. The way you smile, just be the way you sing off key, the way you heart my dreams. No, they can't take that away from me. We may never meet again on that bumpy road to love. Still I'll always keep the memory of the way I hold you night, the way we danced till 3, the way you changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me. Right, so that was from Shall We Dance. This last one in the first set of songs from famous films is called Angel Eyes, and it was kind of from a more obscure film. It was, let's see, what was it called? Jennifer. And the person who sang it was the composer himself, Matt Dennis. And it's a beautiful piece, and Sinatra actually sang it at the close of all of his shows. And there's a really great line. The last line happens to be, wait, maybe it wasn't. Yeah, gotta find who's now number one and why my angel eyes ain't here. So when he's saying he's gotta find, he's leaving the stage, and a lot of times he'll say the very last line as he's already in the wings of the stage. So that was kind of a cool thing. Oh, actually, it's a pardon me, but I gotta run is when he starts exiting. So that's one line before. But anyhow, this is Angel Eyes. Try to think that love's not around, still it's uncomfortably near. My old heart ain't gaining no ground, because my angel eyes ain't here. Angel eyes, that old devil sent, they glow unbearably bright. Need I say that my love's misspent with angel eyes tonight? So drink up, all you people, order any Pardon me, but I gotta run. The facts uncommonly clear. Gotta find who's now number one, and why my angel eyes ain't here. All right, so that was Angel Eyes. So now that I've sung in my Frank Sinatra-esque voice, I'll go back to my classical voice, which I'm a bit better at. So I'd like to do a song called Only Our Hearts. And this starts off a new set of songs. First, a couple of songs are written specifically by Paul McCartney, but the couple songs after that are all from Paul McCartney's jazz album that he did that a lot of people probably haven't heard of. It has a very cheeky title called Kisses on the Bottom, which is a takeoff on the song I'm Gonna Sit Right Down and Write Myself a Letter, where he's talking about he's writing himself a letter as if it's from the one that he loves, and he's going to put kisses on the bottom of the letter. But Paul McCartney wanted to be a little funny. So anyway, these are all songs from that album, but these first two are specifically written by Paul McCartney in the jazz style. This first one is called Only Our Hearts. If only our hearts were here, I'd be taking the time to feel it washing over my body and soul. If only my love was here. I wish that my heart was strong. I'd be letting it beat much faster at the thought of you holding me near. I wish that my heart was strong. Hoping to be where you are, I'm longing to be your lover. Don't want to ever be far apart from you, my love. But only our hearts will know if we're gonna spend it together, holding on to the dreams that we share. Only our hearts know how much love is there. Fire my pianist. Hoping to be where you are, longing to be your lover. Don't want to ever be far windy, together, holding on to the love that we share. Only our hearts know how much love is there. Thank you. So the second Paul McCartney song is called My Valentine, and I think all musicians were kind of relieved when it came out because they were thinking, finally, another song about Valentine's Day besides My Funny Valentine, which is a great song, although I always feel a little weird about singing it because of that one line, your looks are laughable, unphotographable. Not exactly a very flattering romantic line that you want to be, singing to your loved one, but people like it anyway. So this is a Valentine song that doesn't insult the person that you claim to love. It's called My Valentine. What if it rained? We didn't care. She said the Sunday sun was gonna shine, and she was right. This love of mine, my Valentine. As day and night would pass me by, I'd tell myself that I was waiting for a sign. Then she appeared, love so fine, my Valentine. And I will love her for life. I will never let a day go by without remembering the reasons why. She makes me certain that I could fly, and so I do, without a care. I know that someday soon the sun was gonna shine, and she'll be there, this love of mine, my Valentine. What if it rained? We didn't care. She said the someday soon the sun was gonna shine, and she was right. This love of mine, my Valentine. So that was My Valentine. Always get a little tongue twisted on that one a little bit because I want to say the sun was going to shine, and it starts to say that someday soon. So that's why I was smiling in the very beginning, because those words got a little twisted. This next piece is another one from his album. Paul McCartney's, Kisses on the Bottom. This is Home, also subtitled When Shadows Fall. And it's just a really, really nice song, and I'd never heard it before this album. So I hope you enjoy. I should mention this album, Kisses on the Bottom, it was really great because Diana Krall, I believe that's who it is, a famous jazz pianist, arranged all the music for Paul McCartney. And I'm going to try playing the piano parts, but as you know, if you come to a lot of my concerts, I'm not a pianist, so we'll see how it goes. Evening marks the close of day. Skies of blue begin to gray. Crimson hues are fading in the west. Evening ever brings to me dreams of days that used to be, memories of those I loved the best. When shadows fall, the trees whisper days ending. My thoughts are ever wending home. When crickets call, my heart is forever yearning once more to be returning home. When the hills conceal the setting sun, stars begin a-peeping one by one. Night covers all, and though fortune may forsake me, sweet dreams will ever take me home. Long piano solo, so you can use your imagination and imagine Diana Krall is playing this part. When the hills conceal the setting sun, stars begin a-peeping one by one. Night covers all, and though fortune may forsake me, sweet dreams will ever take me home. So the next piece is called My Very Good Friend the Milkman. And it happens to be, besides the ones that Paul McCartney wrote himself, this is definitely my favorite piece off of the album because it's just so funny. And so I hope you'll pay really good attention to the lyrics, and hopefully I won't start singing the second verse when I'm supposed to be singing the first, as often happens in church when I'm leading hymns. So anyway, this is My Very Good Friend the Milkman. My very good friend, the milkman, says that I've been losing too much sleep. He doesn't like the hours I keep, and he suggests that you should marry me. My very good friend, the mailman, says it would make his burden less if we both had the same address, and he suggests that you should marry me. And there's a very friendly fellow who prints all the latest real estate news, and every day he sends me blueprints of cottages with country views. Oh, my very good friends, the neighbors say they've been watching little things I do. They perceive that I love you, so I suggest that you should marry me. Then there's a very friendly fellow who prints all the latest real estate news, and every day he sends me blueprints of cottages with country views. Oh, my very good friends, the neighbors say they've been watching little things I do. They perceive that I love you, so I suggest that you should marry me. Thank you. I very mercifully spared you of a long piano solo on that piece. Now I'm going to sing a couple of foreign language pieces in Spanish that are also kind of a lesser known part of the jazz repertoire. This first one I first heard by listening to an album of Plácido Domingo. He was doing a bunch of Spanish songs. This also happened to be in one of my books of Spanish songs that I've been looking at lately to prepare my Spanish language program. This one is called Coimbra, and it's just a really nice melody. And the one after that is called Nosotros, which is one that I first heard by listening to Rachel and Vilray. Rachel being I forget her last name, Rachel Price of Lake Street Dive. She also has a side project that she does with a jazz guitarist, and they put out an album, and I bought it and listened to it, and I was like, oh, Spanish jazz, yes, that's perfect. So anyway, this first piece is Coimbra, and the second one is Nosotros.
ainda es capital do amor in Portugal, ainda coimbra uma vez, com lágrimas se fez a história de Inés tão linda. Coimbra das canções, Coimbra que nos pôs os nossos corações à luz. Coimbra de motores para nossos cantores, a fonte dos amores tú. Libra ma mulher só passa quem souber e aprenda de cidade salada.
That's Coimbra. And now I'm moving on to Nosotros.
Atiéndame, quiero decirte algo que quizás no esperes, doloroso tal vez. Escúchame, que me el alma, yo necesito hablarte y así lo haré. Nosotros que fuimos tan sinceros que desde que nos vimos amando no estamos. Nosotros que el amor hicimos un sol maravilloso, romance tan divino. Nosotros que nos queremos tanto, debemos separarnos. No me preguntas más, no es falta de cariño, te quiero con el alma, te juro que te adoro y en nombre de este amor y por tu bien te digo adiós. Nosotros que fuimos tan sinceros que desde que nos vimos amándonos estamos. Nosotros que el amor hicimos un sol maravilloso, romance tan divino. Nosotros que nos queremos tantos, debemos separarnos. No me preguntes más, no es falta de cariño, te quiero con el alma, te juro te adoro. Y en nombre de este amor y por tu bien te digo adiós.
So those are my two Spanish pieces. Now I'd like to go on to a lesser known composer who I absolutely love, Fred Rogers. Everybody knows him from the Mr. Rogers television show, but he was actually a quite talented composer who had a degree in music, who hired some really fabulous jazz musicians to work on his television show. And this first one is called "It's You I Like." It's a really, really beautiful sentiment.
It's you I like. It's not the things you wear. It's not the way you do your hair. But it's you I like. The way you are right now. The way deep down inside you. Not the things that hide you, not your toys, they're just beside you. But it's you I like, every part of you, your skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like, it's you yourself, it's you, I love.
And this next piece is one that goes a little more. I'm going to start off slow and then I'll kick into the tempo that it's known for. It's called "It's Such a Good Feeling."
It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up, ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling to know you're alive. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up, ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling to know you're alive. It's such a good feeling to know you're in tune. It's such a happy feeling to find you're in bloom. And when you wake up, ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling, the feeling to know you're alive.
So now that I've done some Mr. Rogers songs, I'd like to do some songs that I've written in the style of jazz. I think I'll go ahead and check the chat here just to respond to a few things, see the people that have joined. I'm kind of far away, so I can't check it all the time, but I saw Barbara. All right. Anita and Holly are here. Catherine, really wonderful. Donald, thank you so much for joining. Kim, thank you. Yeah, this is wonderful. Thank you guys so much. I'll be sure to respond to all the comments at the end, but this next piece that I'd like to do is called I Want Pumpkin Spice. So it's about this wonderful new season that we're in.
Crispness in the air, pumpkins everywhere, the spice of the season when trees shed their leaves on the ground. The colors start to turn, the sun will slow its burn, a beautiful death. And then he returns, Mr. Snow. Fall, don't go, leave me more, leaves not snow. As I fall for you, your heart turns to ice, and I want pumpkin spice. Springtime may be close, others are just gross. The summer sun's too bold, the winter winds are far too cold. The perfect time of year is gone before it's here, but maybe this warming could please interfere with the snow. The snow. Fall, don't go, leave me more, leaves not snow. As I fall for you, your heart turns to ice, and I want pumpkin spice.
So that's I Want Pumpkin Spice.
Clementine says, take me to Starbucks.
Clementine says to take her to Starbucks. So we'll have to do that after this. So this next one is a song that I wrote called Parties Just Ain't For Me. I was very inspired by the lyrics of Cole Porter. And so I tried to be as witty as Cole Porter. So you can imagine how that turns out when you try to compare yourself to Cole Porter. But anyway, hopefully you'll get the humor in it. I'm talking about a lot of famous poets and wishing that I had the words to say that were similar to Cole Porter or Oscar II, or people like that. So this is Parties Just Ain't For Me. This happens also to be my wife's anthem, since she doesn't like going out to parties. Anyway.
If I were Cole Porter, I'd escape this disorder, and I would always recall the words I need most of all for any occasion that calls. If I were like Ira, I'd be the kind of guy that you could always rely on when the conversation dies on you before the evening is through. Why can't I be an original? It seems so easy for some. I fit in like an aboriginal. When the colonists have come, I'm just as still as a tree. I'm lacking all poetry. When we're alone, I fight my signs of ennui. But parties just ain't for me. If I were Oscar the second, I'd say more than you'd reckon, and I would always be smart. My words would be works of art. As soon from my lips they depart. Got the heart of Lorenzo, but the conversation ends so abruptly you'd never know I'm not your average Joe. 'Cause parties I just say no. Why can't I be an original? It seems so easy for some. I fit in like an aboriginal. When the colonists have come, but I'm no longer a tree. I'll talk to you socially, and when we're alone, I fight my signs of ennui. 'Cause parties with you are for me. Although without you it ain't for. In fact, it ain't quaint for. Parties just ain't for. In fact, I might faint for. Parties just ain't for me.
So that was Parties Just Ain't For Me, one that I wrote. And my favorite lyric in this song is a pun. Got the heart of Lorenzo. Lorenzo Hart was a famous lyricist. So that's Hart spelled H-A-R-T. Anyway, now moving on, talking about George and Ira Gershwin. I mentioned If I Were Like Ira in the last song. This is I've Got a Crush on You by George and Ira. So this starts off a new set of songs from Broadway musicals. This one was from Treasure Girl from 1928, and also Strike Up the Band in the year 1930. And then we've got Paper Moon, which was in the musical that no one has ever heard of, at least that I've asked, called The Great Magoo. But it's by Harold Arlen, Yip Harburg, and Billy Rose. Some of those people wrote Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So this first one, I've Got a Crush on You by George and Ira Gershwin.
How glad the many millions of Annabelles and Lillians would be to capture me. But you had such persistence, you wore down my resistance. I fell, and it was swell. I'm your big and brave and handsome Romeo. How I love you, I shall never, ever know. It's not that you're attractive, but oh, my heart grew active when you came into view. I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie, all the day and night time. Hear me sigh, I never had the least notion that I could fall with such emotion. Could you could you care for a kind cottage? We could share the world with but much, 'cause I've got a crush, my baby, on you. I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie, all the day and night times. Hear me sigh, never had the least notion that I could fall with such emotion. Oh, could you care for a cunning cottage? We could share the world with but much, 'cause I've got a crush, my baby, on you.
Thank you. And now we move on to It's Only a Paper Moon. This also happens to be on one of my favorite albums, Kisses on the Bottom, which I mentioned earlier by Paul McCartney. But since it was also a musical, I put it in this section. So this is from 1933. It's Only a Paper Moon. It was also made famous by Nat King Cole. You may know that version as well.
Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe in me. Yes, it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree, but it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Bottom and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Bottom and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believe in me. If you believe in me.
That was It's Only a Paper Moon. And now I move on to a couple of songs that are about states. So this first one is Moonlight in Vermont. And of course, being from Georgia, I have to do Georgia on My Mind, which of course was recorded by Ray Charles and became a hit for him in 1960 when it was released. It actually became the Georgia State song, but specifically the version that he sang as an apology to him because Georgia banned him from performing in the state for I'm not sure how long, because he refused to play to segregated audiences. So as a kind of apology, they made it the state song, but specifically his version. So technically, I won't be performing the state song since it's not a recording of his version. So this next piece is Moonlight in Vermont.
Pennies in a stream, falling leaves the sycamore, moonlight in Vermont. I see finger waves, ski trails on the mountainside, snowlight in Vermont. Telegraph cables, they sing on the highway, travel each bend in the road. People who meet in this romantic setting, so hypnotized by the lovely evening summer breeze, wobbling of the meadowlark, moonlight in Vermont. You and me and moonlight in Vermont.
Now, Georgia on my mind.
Georgia, Georgia, the whole day through, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other arms reach out to me, other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Georgia, oh Georgia, no peace I'll find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia, oh Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Other other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road lead back to you. Oh, Georgia, Georgia, no peace I'll find, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Georgia on my mind. And now for my final piece. This is Cry Me a River by Arthur Hamilton. All right.
Now you say you're lonely. You cried the whole night through. Well, you can cry me a river. Cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river. Cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. You nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, go on and cry me a river. Cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river. Cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river over you. You nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian. Told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, go on and cry me a river. Cry me a river, 'cause I cried a river weather over you.
All right. Well, that is my program. I'm going to end this stream over here so that maybe it will go live on Facebook. All right. So it ended that live stream there. So I'm going to share that. And now I'm going to stay on just a couple more minutes and look at all the wonderful comments that you guys posted. Thank you so much. I'll start maybe at the bottom. Thoughtfully organized and exquisitely performed as always. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And thank you for the claps, Stephanie. John, great voice. Keep the music alive. Fred and Ginger Rogers. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and thank you for joining. I'm not sure that we know each other. Maybe we do, and I'm really bad with names, so I apologize if we do. But thank you so much for joining. And Donald, as always, you're such a great supporter, cheerleader. I really appreciate you. You're always tuning in. Caitlin, if there's pumpkin spice at the party, I might go. Nice. Starbucks drink and title about my favorite season. Love it. Thank you, Catherine. Kim, thank you for joining as always. Stephanie, I love the cat emoji. Tom Hanks is actually related to Fred Rogers. Yeah, Tom Hanks played Fred Rogers in that movie, and it was really, really great. I don't know if they're related or not, but that's cool if they are. Of the second Fred Rogers song too. Yeah, Fred Rogers. I've just been kind of obsessed with him lately. He's got such a vast array of songs, because he was on the air for over 30 years and he composed all the music that was in Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. So it's really cool. Let's see. A lot of comments from Donald. Like your comment about Arthur Fiedler. Yeah, nice. Oh, and Catherine says she's never heard Angel Eyes before. Yeah, it's a kind of a lesser known jazz standard, but it's a really beautiful one. I really love it. I was introduced to it by a classical guitarist that I worked with, Jonas Kublitskas, and so that was kind of his suggestion that we should do that way back when. All right. I think that's most of the comments. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you want to donate at all, I put my links to my PayPal or Venmo in the description. But thank you so much for tuning in. And be sure, if you want to, you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've got new videos coming every week. And also I have this live stream that I'm doing every two weeks. Or it's the second and fourth Sunday of every month. I'll be doing a live stream. And the next live stream, I'll be going back and doing my Austin Pops again. So I'm going to ask people for their requests one more time. So we'll get some new, it'll be a different program, all new requests, unless there are some that you really want me to do again. And I really look forward to that. So thank you guys so much for joining and have a great Sunday. Thanks.